hat, coat, and keys. We're ready for another edition of This will be the fourth and last sub up for review in the series. I just wanted to remind viewers that these reviews are not sponsored and are unbiased beyond my criteria for an Italian sub.
I'm paying for those meals.
Paying in more ways than one. I think I've gained quite a few pounds since this whole thing started. If it wasn't for you guys, I never would have found this place. I generally stay away from downtown Leominster, but I'm glad that we went. This was a nice visit and a nice place. The pizza looked great, and finding a new place to cop burritos is quite frankly like killing two birds with one stone. So join me for the next few minutes while we break down one of the area's best Italian subs. Sub number 4 from TC Landos.
7 hours later.
My name is Eric, and you're watching the best sub in the Lunenburg area, sub number 4 from TC Landos. TC Landos is just over the border in Leominster and was 4th on the list of most recommended places to find a good Italian sub. This is an Italian sub from TC Landos. The bread looks really good. It's got a nice sound to it. It looks fresh, it smells fresh. This cheese looks pretty good. It's probably all the same cheese from every place because there are only so many vendors and the quality's been excellent so far. This is, looks like a salami. This is a sweet capicola right there. Or a capicola, I'm not sure if it's sweet. It's peppered as well, so. And then there's a Genoa salami, or a salami. One of the two. I think the Genoa salami is a slightly darker one. The reason that it is darker and the difference between it and other salamis is that Genoa salami uses a red wine in the ingredient list.
He got wine. Whoopie-whoa.
So it looks like the vegetables are pouring right out of there. Looks really good. I cannot wait to eat this. It's got a pretty decent cross section. It's a good quarter-inch of meats. Plenty of vegetables. Plenty of flavor, which is what you're looking for. Overall, it's got a good mouthfeel. Pretty good sub. The bread itself is nice and airy. I would think this is a standard sub roll that most mom and pop places would have access to. It's really good. It's nice and fresh. Not terribly outstanding, but it's good. It's a very serviceable roll. It is nice and fresh and not stale, which is exactly what you want. It's a great mouthfeel. It's very filling. I was thrilled that there were 3 types of Italian meats on the sub. It was great. There's no bologna or ham taste, which is really what I like. The meat gives you a nice kind of umami punch that you're looking for. I wish I had a little bit of oil and vinegar on here, but que sera, sera, right? Shredded lettuce is perfect, and the banana peppers are great. There were an abundance of banana peppers.
What are you gonna use all that pepper for?
I chose not to get pickles because I don't always get pickles on myself, so you know, everybody likes different things. And of course, you have your favorites. I know in most of my other videos, when it comes to the vegetables, I always say it would be nice to have it diced so that it spreads out all over the sandwich and that you get an even bite of every vegetable when you eat it. But I see here now that when it's diced, it tends to fall out of the sub a little bit easier. The sliced half tomatoes seem to be the way to go, I think, in terms of adding tomatoes to one of these subs because it comes apart when you bite it, but it doesn't fall out into the plate. You know, and that's okay. It's all right if it falls out onto the plate, unless you're eating in your car or in bed. So it's a nice good bite right here. I'll turn it around so it's the pretty side. But there's a nice cross section there of very edible goods. The only thing that I would say that I'm a little bit disappointed in is are the condiments. I asked for oil on the sub roll and there's no oil on the sub whatsoever.
That's a shame.
There are also no herbs whatsoever, but you know, some places do that and some places don't. Thank you to everybody who recommended this sub to me. A worthy place in the list of the top 4. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this up and we're gonna do some scoring.
1 hour later.
Lunchtime. This is the type of sub that you would get on your lunch break pretty much anywhere in New England. Bread was pretty good. It was fresh. It was delicious, nice mouthfeel. It held the sandwich together. It wasn't too terribly soaked. It was a little wet on the bottom. I'm going to give the bread for number 4. I'm going to give it an 8. It was very good bread. The cheese is always a 10. There was no American cheese on the sub. It was provolone cheese. There were 2 slices of it on each half of my sub. Flavor kind of tied everything together, and give the cheese a 10. Now, the meats. I was excited to see 3 Italian cold cuts. As you know, and some of the other subs we've had here in this survey, some of them have had ham, some of them have had bologna, some of them have had ham and bologna. Thankfully, this had none of those things. So this is a step above a cold cut sub. It is an Italian sub. The meat was pretty good. I'm going to give the meat a 9. The veggies were diced and a little messy, to be quite honest with you. They kept falling out of the sub, but they were very fresh. I'm going to give the veggies a 9. We're finally on to condiments. Now, I did ask for oil on my sub, and there was no oil on the sub.
That's a shame.
But, it was busy, it was lunchtime, I get it, but it would have been nice to have some oil. There were no herbs on the sub either, so without any herbs or oil, I'm going to have to give a 7 for condiments.
A shame. That is exactly how I would put it.
Sub number 4, which I call the lunchtime, which is, the perfect sub for a lunch because it's very filling and delicious. I gave the bread an 8. I gave the cheese a 10. I gave the meat a 9. I gave the veggies a 9. And I gave the condiments a 7. So that's about it. Thank you very much for watching this show. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and click the thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more episodes, then go ahead and click the subscribe link that you'll find down below as well. I've really enjoyed making these videos. Thank you very much. My name is Eric Foster, and this has been the best sub in the Lunenburg area, sub number 4 from TC Landos. Stay tuned next week for the winner.